What's going on, guys? Back again with another 5-MeO DMT trip report. This was 3 rounds of 5-MeO DMT, synthetic freebase. It was 15 milligrams per dose. This was only 2 weeks after my last session with 5-MeO DMT. The first round, now if you've been following along, I've been kind of questioning where I want to live, like where I want to, live with my family. Now I'm looking to move to downtown Vancouver. This one little area, False Creek, really beautiful there. Basically, the main block that I have is with money because it's just so bloody expensive to move there. So back to the medicine trip, I took my medicine, and within a matter of seconds, I was just faced with this question: just, do I want to live in False Creek? And then it was just kind of like hovering there. The question was just hovering there, and then it just like kind of crumbled away. And it's not that I want to live there. See, if I want something, that means I'm living in lack. That means there's this like hole that I have within myself where I'm not complete because I want something that's external to myself. And that just fell away. Like it just fell away. Now, I don't know if I've made progress on it, but where I'm at with it now is, I actually spent a lot of time down in that area in the last week since I've done the medicine, like probably more than maybe ever. I don't know. I just keep migrating to that area. I don't know if those are connected, but yeah, but just walking around the area and like looking at all the apartments, just imagining myself living there. It's like it would be cool if it happened, but there isn't this like necessity or like this like wanting. So that was the first thing that I dealt with on the medicine. And then after that, it was like I was lying on the mat looking up at the ceiling, and I could see like it was like looking through a kaleidoscope. Like I've described this before, only usually the medicine or the feeling of the medicine is just so powerful and almost overwhelming that it's really hard to focus. It's really hard to just like pay attention while I'm on the medicine and just like be present with what is. And yes, my hands are like doing their thing or whatever, and usually I'm like focused on like the hands, or I'm focused on the body. I'm just like, my attention goes somewhere. But this was like more like expanse, where the body was doing its thing, but I was focused internally even more. And by putting my focus internally, it kind of like came out the other end, and it was like the attention was coming outward. I don't know. But it was like deeper than I've ever gone. At least it feels that way. It always does. I mean, if it doesn't, then I'm not doing it right. So as long as that keeps happening, I feel like I'm headed in the right direction. But then I was faced with this feeling of like I'm God, and I could just be like this all the time. And I was like, I could just choose right now to just stop with the searching and just be this, and just be God, be myself. But then what I've noticed the last trip, and as well as this trip more specifically, is that the ego comes back really quickly. Whereas in my older trips, like before, I would take my hit and then it'd be 20 minutes of like being in that space, or just like ramping up to that space, and then clearing out energy or whatever, and like maintaining that space. Where it's here is I get to that space, and then the ego comes in. Then I'm like, the ego comes in so quick, and then I can like kind of let go, dissolve back into the experience, meaning letting go of my reality, which is the ego itself. But it just keeps coming back like really quickly. So it came back. Yeah. So anyway, it came back, and it was like, I could be like this all the time. Like this was this realization that I had. And I've kind of had this before, but it wasn't like this, like just like, yes, obvious. And I have a choice to do it. It's me, yes. Then the ego comes back, it's like, well, I got some things I got to do this weekend. That's, if I actually make that decision, will I be able to function in reality? And like I had some things happening this weekend, so I was like, so then it just like kind of like took over that space. Then obviously I just allowed it to. So that was kind of the first round of medicine. I like to do 3 rounds. And it's becoming more and more obvious that that's like the right thing to do. Whereas before I was just doing it because Martin Ball did it. He did it with his clients, and so I was just copying him. But now I'm really starting to see the benefit of like grounding out, and like at the tail end of the experience, it kind of I'm not left so like distraught in a sense. But anyway, we'll get to the end after. So I did the second round of medicine. If you watch my last video, the last trip I did before this one, like the second round I kind of flubbed, and it was like it became this game where I didn't know I didn't take enough, but the ego was trying to pretend that it did take enough. So this time I took it, and I was lying in cemetery, and I went to lift my hand up to go take more, but both hands would twitch. So I was in like the cemetery of the energy, so I was there, and then and I overpowered it, and I went and took another big hit just to make sure, just had that idea in the back of my mind that of last time. And yeah, definitely broke through, made it through that time. I definitely made it through. So for this round, there's been this evolution of me speaking on the medicine, whereas the ego parts ways, and then like now I'm able to speak in English and have this deeper voice than like right now I'm talking in the Josh character. It's the egoic voice. But when the ego is gone, I'm still able to express vocally just without the character. So this voice that you hear right now, it's not there. So it changes into something else. It's a lot deeper. The evolution, initially it was just toning. And then it turned into this like glossolalia, like just basically speaking gibberish. It didn't make any sense. I mean, none of it makes any sense. We just make our own sense out of everything. But it was just the energy expressing itself the way it could at the time. I don't have too much video of that. Then from there I started speaking English. Yes. When I reached that place of realization that I am God, I would say that, and it would be expressed that way. I am God. And then lately, it's been I am reality. Oh, yes. I am reality. But then this last time, where I was like, as attentive as I've been on the journey, there wasn't this need to like bellow it out like 50 times like there normally is. And it was just this I am. I am. I am. Which I am. I am everything. I am all. Everything and nothing. That was the big highlight that I could recall from the second round. Third round. Now this is the round that I'm questioning whether or not I did take enough. I feel like I did, but the ego came back so fast. And the big thing that I took away from the third round is I was lying there and I could feel this like ball of energy forming in the pit of my stomach. And it coincided with me like, because I was lying still for a lot of it. Like usually I'm like, my hands are going pretty fluid and maybe even my body's coming up and like I'm rolling back onto my shoulders. But I was just like so still. I was focused internally, and every time I would go to do a movement, I would catch it and I would just like stop it and drop and become still. I was really focused on stillness. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, if I should just let it go and do the symmetrical movements. But as the symmetrical movements were happening, the mind would start playing as well. So I'd stop the mind and I would just be silent inside, and then the hands would just fall away. So it's like these patterns, like the symmetrical movements, it's like processing of energy that's in my body, in the ego. But it just felt like stillness was even more powerful. Then I recently heard Martin do his talk on the World Buffalo Various Congress. His talk there was about integration. And he said to go all the way is to do the movements. And if you're just lying still, you didn't go all the way. So I guess I didn't for the third round. But anyway, back to this energetic pit, this ball that was forming. It was forming, and I'd have this thought of, man, this isn't really good entertainment right now. This isn't showing anybody anything. I'm just lying here. But then every time I'd go to do the movement, it was like, no, just be still. Just stillness felt right. And that came up a couple times. And then finally, like this like ball of energy in my stomach was like, it was pretty pronounced. Like it was like I could feel it was there, and it had all my attention. And then again, it was like, man, this isn't entertaining at all. Like nobody's getting anything from this. And then the thought came. It was just like, no, actually, this is the energy. This is truth. This is what needs to be expressed. So anything else is just gibberish. So just trust yourself, or trust myself. And then with that thought, with that like clearing out, it was simply 2 breaths of just, and then the pit disappeared through the breath. The first breath, I could feel it getting smaller, and the second breath, it was just completely gone. And I was like free of whatever that was. I was left just trust myself, you know? And then mainly in the second round, even the first round, but mainly in the second round, man, I had like all my attention, all my awareness, just like I was like fully present, like more than ever. Like usually the energy is so powerful that I'm barely able to pay attention, or the energy is just so powerful. But this time it felt like, sure, the energy was still powerful. There's no difference. It was still infinite. But it was just like I was able to like be in it, and this is it. Yeah. This is infinite. And then I feel, because I was able to like pay attention to it, that after my experience, after the 3 rounds, it was the most grounded I've ever been able to leave a 5-MeO session. I got up and just like I could just like get right back to my life. Like it really hasn't. It's been what did I do it last Thursday, then today's Thursday. Yeah, so it's been a week since then. And there hasn't really been any integration. Like I'm still searching, but like I can tell the difference between like a 5-MeO integration and just like going about my day. And it was like integration's not needed almost. Like whatever happened on the medicine was the healing itself. I don't have to make this like long drawn out thing of it. So anyway, that's really the experience. If you're following along on my personal journey as a whole, I had a really interesting moment. I think it was during the last integration. I would say the last time I did integrate. I even made a video about integration. So yeah, I did have an integration period. But I've been like having this like struggle with money. Like I haven't been able to produce money. I just have like no desire to like produce it in a way that doesn't feel right. And I haven't been able to find a place that feels right yet. And then finally I made it to this place where I incorporated money as myself. I was able to fully integrate money as the self. Like everything is the self. It's all one, yes. But if it was that easy to just say it and then integrate everything, we'd all be walking around fully liberated. Everything is just one all the time for everyone. But it's not like that, you know? Until we integrate every little single aspect of our reality, there's going to be some part of us that is holding on to the illusion of separateness. And that's what keeps us in that searching pattern. But anyway, I'm integrated money, and it's like, I'm money, and it was like I didn't know what it meant. But since then, like, I had a nice little chunk of money appear in my life, it manifested, and it was a nice, and it was right around that time where I realized that I am money. Then I've been having people reach out and say that they'll do 5-MeO with me, and then I have this other, this opportunity just fell on my lap, that I have a potential that I could host a retreat in Jamaica with 5-MeO because it's legal there, and that could be like another avenue of money / career / helping people / entertainment. But up until I fully integrated it, there was just so quiet. Oh, and also, since I've integrated it, somebody actually donated to my Patreon, which is super cool. It made me feel really good. So thank you if you're watching this. Appreciate it. So yeah, whatever block there was seems to it's integrated now. I am money. I can say that so easily. Whereas before I was like, man, I don't know what money is. It's just me. Everything's me. I am everything. It's not the egoic me. It's the infinite me. So that is it. 5-MeO DMT. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, thumbs up as always. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.